Welcome back to Core Anesthesia. Whether you are a student prepping for tests and boards or a CRNA here to earn CEUs, we are glad you've joined us. For more about us, make sure to check us out on Instagram at Core Anesthesia and online at coreanesthesia.com.
Welcome to the Core Anesthesia Market Update, brought to you by locumtenens.com, your go-to source for staying informed about the anesthesia industry. I'm your host, Brittni Swanson, and I'm excited about today's discussion as we dive into some trends our recruiting team is seeing in the world of anesthesia right now. Joining me today is the lovely Kathleen Burton, who is a tenured recruiter on the anesthesia team here at locumtenens.com. Hi, Kathleen. How are you today?
Hi, Brittni. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We're excited to have you here today. So our focus for today's episode revolves around the latest market trends shaping the hiring landscape for CRNAs. So if you're a CRNA and are currently looking for a job, we've got some key considerations to bear in mind during your job search. So today we will start by taking a look at some market trends that the entire country is seeing in the world of healthcare right now. According to a report by Becker's Hospital Review, there are 5 healthcare trends facilities are seeing in 2024. First is financial pressures. This is pretty self-explanatory. Healthcare facilities are faced with the challenge of serving a broader population while keeping costs in mind to serve that population. Second are workforce shortages. Facilities are trying to come up with creative ways to combat shortages, make things more streamlined, and technology plays a huge part of that. Digital communications, automated tasks, reducing paperwork, and locumtenens.com, for example, actually just partnered with a credentialing platform called Actual, and it's been pretty successful.
Yeah, it definitely has. Our providers have been loving it.
And the third one is prioritizing patient-centric care. So what can facilities do to provide patient care easier? Whether that's digital or virtual models, outpatient settings, retail medicine, all of this has to be taken into consideration. Fourth is increasing access to care. So how do we reach those rural areas? Is it through transitional care, Medicaid expansion, investments in community health, mobile clinics? These are all things that facilities are thinking about to provide care where it is needed most. And finally, differentiating to stand out. How do they attract staff and patients during this hard time of staffing with all of these different pressures? So these 5 trends hold significant relevance in the realm of anesthesia. And if you're a CRNA, you can expect to encounter these factors while searching for jobs at various facilities. While looking through data from Becker's Hospital Review, we discovered that across 10 different specialties, the healthcare industry saw 46,000 physicians leave the workforce because of some of those reasons. Around 2,800 of those were in the field of anesthesia. The U.S. in general faces an estimated shortage of between 37,000 to 124,000 primary care and specialty physicians by 2034. So now that we've kind of set the stage with some of the challenges facilities are facing, we want to get a firsthand look at how some of this is affecting CRNAs. So, Kathleen, based on these stats and what you're seeing from a recruiting standpoint, what are some of the current trends and challenges in the field of anesthesia, and how are they impacting CRNA recruitment?
Let's dive right into it. So anesthesia really has taken off post-COVID, multitude of things, but significant technological advancements and regulatory changes have definitely been a current trend. We're seeing enhanced monitoring systems that provide better patient data and improve patient safety during anesthesia. And additionally, teleanesthesia is becoming more prevalent, especially in some of those underserved areas you mentioned before. And that's just to help allow for remote monitoring and consultations. Ultimately, I think one of the biggest trends we're observing is in regulatory changes. There's been a lot of legislative changes that are expanding CRNA autonomy, which is allowing more CRNAs to practice independently in more states. This is crucial, especially with the growth that we're seeing in outpatient surgeries. Those tend to be a little bit more minimally invasive and are allowing for quicker recovery. Along with that, there's also been a larger emphasis on regional and nerve block techniques too.
Interesting. And what about the challenges along with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say as of 2023, there's roughly 60,000 CRNAs nationwide. Paired with the U.S. aging population, it's not even. There's a higher demand for surgical procedures requiring anesthesia, and there's not enough providers in the market. So unfortunately, the number of CRNA programs and residency slots has not kept pace with that growing demand, causing a huge challenge on the recruitment side, whether you're an internal recruiter or you perhaps work with talent acquisition. I think in terms of recruitment, with more states granting CRNAs the ability to practice independently, we're seeing an increased demand for CRNAs to fill these gaps, especially, again, in those rural and underserved areas. That's where we're seeing an uptick in the critical access regions. I think, as an agency, to address the CRNA shortage, we have to have a multifaceted approach, which in my eyes would include competitive compensation, improved work-life balance, trying to offer incentives for CRNAs to work in these specific regions in such a competitive market. And I think also, too, back to residency and training, we have to continue working and partnering with residency and CRNA programs so that we can train more nurse anesthetists and get them into the market.
Yeah, I mean, that really gives a great picture of how healthcare needs to change to kind of keep up and fill that shortage and that need. So how do you see the role of CRNAs evolving in the future, and what sort of implications does this have for recruitment?
Yeah, I mean, even post-COVID, the role of CRNAs has already evolved, and it will continue to evolve. CRNAs are focusing more on personalized anesthetic plans these days and advanced pain management techniques, working to improve outcomes and reduce opioid use. I think specifically from a recruitment perspective, agencies and talent acquisition teams are going to need to be able to adapt their strategies in order to attract the top talent. And this might mean a variety of things, but again, offering competitive compensation packages. And this part in particular can be challenging because recruiters are also faced with healthcare organizations that have pressure to reduce those costs. So that is also another challenge. And then I think also additionally, just to avoid burnout and also ensure that these CRNAs have a work-life balance, it's crucial to incorporate flexible work schedules. And I think by addressing these needs, we can better support CRNAs and continue to help ensure high quality patient care.
Are there any particular subspecialties within anesthesia that are experiencing growth or increased demand right now?
Yes, we're definitely seeing several subspecialties that are experiencing growth and really a higher demand. Just a few, I would say pain management, those chronic pain clinics and that are helping with the opioid crisis response. They're seeing an uptick. Regional anesthesia that I know we've touched base on a few times today already, but with an uptick in outpatient surgeries, the need for skilled regional anesthesia techniques is definitely on the rise. A lot of my providers are taking specific regional or block courses as well. There's also a growing number of elderly patients. A lot of those require cardiac surgeries and intervention. That is definitely driving the demand for CRNAs with expertise in cardiac anesthesia. And I would say lastly, OB is seeing major growth, definitely placing an emphasis on providing effective and safe pain management options for women during labor and delivery. So there's definitely an increased demand in a few subspecialties in anesthesia.
Interesting. Lastly, are there any workforce shortages or areas of high demand for CRNAs that you're currently addressing in your recruitment efforts?
Yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely. To address the shortage of CRNAs in those underserved and rural areas, we're implementing special incentives such as a higher hourly rate or partnering with practice management groups that are offering sign-on bonuses. If you're considering taking a permanent position, some healthcare organizations are offering loan repayment programs. I also think just for me as a recruiter, trying to highlight benefits of working in some of these underserved areas, like, a close-knit community or potentially a lower cost of living, Those are things we're trying to implement as well on the recruitment side. I think outside of compensation, establishing mentorship programs is critical. These could really help new CRNAs integrate into their roles in community and really enhance engagement. Paired with mental health support and resources, these efforts could really help reduce burnout and improve job satisfaction. I think some of these are just items that ultimately lead to workforce shortages, and being able to partner with facilities and agencies to implement some of those would help.
That's great. Thank you so much, Kathleen. This is really some great information. Really appreciate all those insights. And that concludes our market update for today. We hope you found some nuggets of wisdom in this episode to guide your career choices. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for being here and offering some great firsthand insights into CRNA hiring trends.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
So for CRNAs interested in locum tenens work, explore our website, locumtenens.com, to discover an array of opportunities available. If you want to earn more money, try new practice settings, expand your clinical skills, and control your own schedule, give locums a try. Locumtenens.com will assist you with licensing, credentialing, and privileging. Whether you choose a local assignment or head across the country, we will cover your travel and even cover your malpractice insurance. So check out locumtenens.com to search for opportunities today. Also, don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Core Anesthesia Market Update, brought to you by locumtenens.com. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in.